really wanted to work on my relationship with my sister, because when we're on good terms, we're so close and we understand each other so well, and it's an amazing, bond we have. But most of the time that's interrupted by fighting, by really bad fighting, that a power struggle between each other, a lot of blaming each other, and then a fight will end up having us at each other's throats or not talking to each other for months. And it's such a sad waste of a sisterly relationship that we could be having. My concerns before the session was that I might not be able to fully relax or let myself go. I thought that my head would be getting too much in the way of what I was feeling. And I did notice that happening sometimes, but when I would just really try and calm my mind and just have a blank thought, clear everything, pictures would come to me, words would come to me, and then we would start putting the puzzle together, and it created a very vivid memory. What I found out about my past life, it took place in the 1800s. I was raised by a rich tyrant father and a suppressed mother on a plantation with slaves. I was very spoiled. We had a maid who helped take care of us and cook for us. And I had a little sister, 12 years younger than me, so I was kind of like a second mother to her. And when I was around 20 or so, or in my 20s, my mother had enough with my father and living on the plantation, and she left us to go live in the city. We were all kind of bored there, the women in the house. So I ended up leaving to the city as well, and I took my little sister with me. I raised her by myself in an apartment. I worked in a bakery, and I had to kind of learn from scratch how to take care of myself because I never had to. And it was harder than I thought, so I ended up entertaining men on the side to supplement my income, and also to help get those nice things back in my life that I was used to, like jewelry and perfume. And I wanted to feel loved. I met someone I did fall in love with, but he didn't have any money, and he was 16 years old. He was the love of my life, but he couldn't really provide for me, and I always find myself in those situations today, too, of being motherly and being attracted to men who are kind of lost and childish. But, yeah, I always wanted more out of life. I left to the city to get more, and I didn't really get more. I just got different. And so I kind of drew to myself my own death because of my misery and my guilt. And I was walking down a dark alley one day, and I was robbed, and my throat was cut. I don't believe whoever cut my throat from the back was trying to kill me. I think they were just trying to injure me to get my bag. But I kind of gave up, and I lied there in the alley, and I bled to death. So it turns out there are a lot of people from my past life who are soulmates now in my current life that I shared my life with in Louisiana around the 1860s. My father is the same person. He has the same name. He was referred to more as Thomas in Louisiana. Now he's Tom. But he's still a controlling figure who's the man of the house and kind of has a fear of abandonment almost. Like feeling like people just use him, or we're all kind of leaving the house now, and I feel like he thinks he's going to be lonely. And that was the same situation in Louisiana when my former mother ran away, and then I left the city and dragged my sister with me. So that's like a similar situation. A maid who helped raise me turns out to be my Aunt Rita in this life, who helped raise me. And my ex-boyfriend Roger, who was very childish, he was my love in Louisiana. I was 20-something, fell in love with a 16-year-old boy. So I ended up learning there were a lot of interesting similarities and connections from my old past life to my new life that make so much sense. For example, the word lavender popped into my head, and I couldn't figure out what that was, and then I just started seeing like perfume. I loved in my past life lavender perfume. It made me feel like rich and lavish, And now I have a business where I work with clients, and I'm always using lavender to calm them down and to create like a very nice environment for them. So I'm always comforted by lavender. I've always had this love for soul food, and there's no connection to that in my current family or anything. I grew up in California, so but yeah, like I had a maid in my past life who cooked soul food, and just like my love for the South and everything, why was I drawn so much to the South for vacation? You know, I don't know why, but it turns out I lived there. So it turns out my younger sister today was also my younger sister in a past life. My sister today is only a year and a half younger, but back then she was 12 years younger. So I currently treat my little sister, who's practically the same age as me, like she's much younger, and I'm always trying to mother her. And it's because of that connection to the past life where I was raising her as a child. And now I need to like step back and realize my sister today is not a child. We're practically the same age, and I need to give her space and let her be her. And now I finally have my own baby, and now it's more appropriate for me to I have someone now I can raise and treat like my child, because I actually am a mother, and I never got the chance to be a mother in my past life. So I'm kind of fulfilling my purpose in this life, and it feels really good to know that I'm on the path to where I'm supposed to be.